I would tell them that you either sell or you get sold every single day, 10 different times a day. The kind of clothes that you're wearing, you got sold. The phone that you have, you got sold. Every single little detail about your life, you get sold, or you either learn how to sell. So it's a game that's being played no matter what, whether you're in it or you're out of it. So my personal take on it is I would rather know the game that's being played around me at all times from a salesperson's perspective, but also from a consumer's perspective. And then also it's like if you choose to play that game, you can add in an amazing additional income in order to stack your income now in addition to what you're already doing, or you can full-time supplement it. So
yeah, I love it. Plus, if you want to be a business owner, you got to sell.
Oh, 100%. It's everything. And it's something that nobody teaches you. Like I remember in my master's program, I got my master's by 22. So I was like 21-ish in that master's program. And I would wear like workout sets. I was just like little college girl, whatever. That was the era. But everyone in my master's program was like 35, 45, 55, they would work at these companies and just their companies would pay for them to get their masters. And it came to the part where they would teach us sales. And I already had like 2 or 3 years of door-to-door sales under my belt at this point. And every single thing that they were teaching us, I'm like, no, like that won't work. And so the teacher actually had me teach some of the seminars in the master's program. And I think that was kind of the point where I realized like, even if they don't, like, we were grateful that they even chose to teach us sales for a couple weeks because most of the times they don't. But even then, if somebody in college or whatever is teaching you sales, why aren't they doing it? Yeah. You know? And so it was just kind of outdated techniques. And that's kind of...
what is the worst? Like, are there some techniques you see today in sales that you're
100%.
like, please, dear God, never do this?
Yep. Okay. So I say this with all kindness. Jeremy Miner is a great guy. Love Jeremy Miner. He's awesome. He's an OG. He was actually the reason I started posting because I was really good at sales. I was making all this money and I wanted to learn sales. So I'm looking up like sales tips online on TikTok, Instagram, and it was really only him. And I saw a video of him teaching door-to-door people how you should do door-to-door sales. He would wear a construction vest and he would go up to someone's home and he's like, guys, this is the secret. You knock on their door and you look confused. You're like, excuse me, are you the homeowner? And I'm like, that would get the door slammed in your face so quick. And so that was kind of the inflection point where I was like, maybe that works for more B2B sales, like the confusion type stuff where you kind of act a little confused and off-putting. But for me, that wasn't it at all. And so I was like, my approach was completely different. And so I tried to look for women that were teaching sales and there was nothing. So I was like, I'm just going to whip out my phone and talk about what I like to do. And that was kind of the whole start of like how I started training people, was just telling them what I do with my approach as a woman, because it is a little different.
Oh, absolutely. And you got to use it. You like, I think if you are a woman and you know sales, like you're pretty dangerous.
Oh, for sure. It's when you teach a woman sales, she'll never go broke. Because there's always something to sell, whether that's your own stuff. There's always a company that will hire you for sales if you're good, if you have the numbers to back it. And you're always buying things throughout the day. So you might as well save a couple bucks no matter what you're buying in the whole day-to-day life.
Yeah, my top sellers are women here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's like, it can go one of 2 ways, because if you're a woman and you're not trained and you don't know what you're doing, you'll get walked all over and you'll end up working for free. But if you're a woman that knows what she's doing, you know your worth, you know how to control a conversation, dangerous.
Well, let's talk about that. How do you become a dangerous person at sales?
You shut up. You literally shut up. Too many salespeople lose a deal because they'll get a yes or a micro yes and they'll just keep talking over the other person. Like, okay, sounds good. Well, we also have this and we also have this and we also have a warranty. And you forget that every single little detail that you give someone unlocks the opportunity for them to disagree with the detail that you said. So keeping it simple and direct is the most valuable thing you can do in a sales conversation, yet nobody does it. You always run into the salespeople that just talk the entire time. And so I say there's a rule in sales. It's 80-20. Your client should be talking 80% of the time. You should be talking 20. So then the question is, how do you get someone to talk for 80% of the time? Well, the 20% that you're talking is mostly questions, asking them while they're giving their answers.
What are the best questions to ask in sales that you found?
Three buckets of questions. Probing questions, provoking questions, and future state questions. What do I mean by that? So gap selling is a big thing in luxury sales. Obviously not door to door, you're not really selling a gap, but in luxury sales, you're selling the gap between where somebody is versus where they want to be. So where they are, you have to build their current state and you have to get clear with them on where they're at, what their numbers are like, what those numbers mean for them, what they're struggling with on the day-to-day, like what that means for them. That's their current state. Then you transition to asking future state questions, okay? Future state questions are like, in a perfect world, this partnership works out. Take me through that. Like, what is the number where you open up your laptop and you're like, that's success. Okay, let's say $300,000 a month revenue. You're selling something B2B. Then you would ask like, okay, well, why 300? Why not 350? Why not 250? Like, what does 300 mean to you? 300 means I could pay my employees. I could take home $50K a month. I would be able to pay this. That's what this person cares about. They don't care about the number. They care about what the number can do for them. So just kind of wrap up, it's probing questions, which are kind of just poking around the bear. Where are you at? What are your numbers like? You're just kind of like poking around, getting some context. Provoking questions dive a layer deeper, where you kind of double click on someone's answer. That way they can explain like why this is a struggle and the emotional pain points behind it. And then the third would be the future state questions.
So good. This is kind of controversial, but do you think that you make more money when you dress better and you're hotter?
Ooh, okay. Yes, to an extent. So we've actually found when you're a woman and you're selling to another woman, you should underdress a little bit. When you're selling to a man, you should overdress a little bit. So it is a little bit different. And I'm not saying you have to like put your makeup on, take it off, put your makeup on, take it off on your sales calls, but it's like, it is knowing that the core rule is like never outshine the master. So if you're talking to somebody and you're trying to say how amazing you are, you're beautiful, it's like, that's very intimidating for someone. And if being intimidating is not going to allow them to open up and to feel safe with you, then it's going to hurt you. So it is a fine line to toe where it's like, look confident, because confidence comes out in your conviction, which comes out in the energy that you bring into a conversation, and your energy is your currency. So look confident, but you don't have to cake yourself up every single time you take a sales call. Serious. I have so many girls, they look perfect. And they're like, why aren't people opening up to me? And I'm like, you are too perfect. Yeah. People love to talk to someone that, one little trick I teach my sales girls too is to say something a little self-deprecating in the beginning, just to show that you're human, you know, or to like wipe your camera a little bit or be like, sorry, I'm having a bad hair day, something like that. Because it just shows that you're human and you're not super polished. And people like when you're a little imperfect.
Yeah, it's so true. I think, you know, these days, a lot of us want something that's authentic. I feel like that's why you've crushed it on social too. You are so obviously who you are. Like having met you and then we've gone back and forth and then watched your content is the same thing. You know, there's not some other face. And that's not that normal, actually. I feel like a lot of people are kind of two totally different things. Yeah,
that's true. I feel like that's why content doesn't work for a lot of people though, is in order for it to really, really work, you have to be the thing. And like, I view my whole life through a lens of sales. Like even if I'm talking to a realtor and they say a word track that I really like, I'll write it down and I'll report it back to my community. So it's like even these little things, like I genuinely do just live my whole life through the sales lens. And I don't think content would be fun for me if I'm just like putting on a face every single time. Yeah. It's not long-term, you know?
No. And you got to love the game. It's really hard to beat somebody else who's having fun. And so if you're having fun,
you can tell.
Oh yeah.
Dude, in this world right now, I hate it. I feel like there's no good content creators, and all the people that I used to like watching their content, they suck now. And the reason is ChatGPT. They're all sitting.
That sounds so similar.
It's so bad. They're all sitting in a chair with a microphone, looking at a screen, reading the exact same script, and you can tell. Yeah. You can see it in their eyes. You can see it in the way that their face just doesn't light up about what they're saying. And I just feel like everything's getting so vanilla.
Yep.
But the caveat is there's such a big opportunity for people that are genuine, that are authentic, that have a unique perspective to just kill it in things like sales and business.